We find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Fields. That's caught by Ware. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now it's Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass. So that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, a confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Mond. That'll be complete to the running back, Luongo. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Mond looks to throw on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Mon to the air on 1st and 10. Drops this off with Nwangu. Touchdown, Vikings! Kene Nwangu with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Handoff here to Nwangu. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
2nd and 10. Back to the air. Mond. He's got Smith here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return from his end zone is Grant. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turn. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost him 6 points.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Kene Nwangwu with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
First down, Chicago.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
A run there with Cook not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. Second down coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mond now off of play action. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returnable for Grant. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
He completes this to Russell Gage. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 34-yard line.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Fields now to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. Well, for as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the final number, pretty impressive courtesy of Next Gen Stats, 21.4 miles per hour.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
At the 28-yard line.
2nd and 7. Here's Mond. Smith with a 1st down and more. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, The alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Bond going to throw it. It's caught. Smith. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mond looks to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now Mond. Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On 2nd and goal, Mond flushed out right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown! Kene Nwangu on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Bears 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. False start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Off play action. Fields. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Beck. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
From the 30 on second down, Mond swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he goes out right around the 39.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st and 10, here's Mond. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Now a give running right, Nwangu. A beautiful spin and room to run. Touchdown, Vikings. The CD, there are touchdown runs and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And that's a second touchdown run of this game and this one. And a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. Let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got to dig down deep. They need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long. Third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, it's Fields. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On second and 10, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long. Third and long, it's Fields going deep for Hopkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Off the play fake, Mon. They'll get this to Nwangu. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And he's got this down to the 35. 89 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. They're going to look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Bears, 14.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mond. That's dropped underneath to Nwangu. Touchdown, Vikings! Kene Nwangu. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. On 1st down, Fields. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Danielle Hunter, his 2nd sack of the night.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kene Nwangu. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Bears 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. From the 29, Fields. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate.
Just blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 26-yard line.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
3rd and 13.
Back to throw here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a throw here to his running back. And some room to work. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, an even 90 yards. And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Santos with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Mon now off of play action. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
15 yards to go.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 8. They go play action here. Mon. This is Smith with a grab. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. And down to the 36-yard line here. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you'd love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Mon. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a first down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the give is Nwangu. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.